what it is. Let the past be the past. Just know Bam gonna be good and turn up on their ass. It's your time. It's his time. It's Bam's time. Bam's time to shine. Hey, check it out, man. Back at it again. Another reaction video. Shit, if you new, welcome. If you've been here, appreciate you. We got most famous beef in NBA history explained. We about to see what's going on. Obviously, they had Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas on the thumbnail, so that's the only reason why I know it's about them. But I really don't know the particulars and why. I know Isaiah Thomas has said things in the past. I never really heard Michael Jordan saying much except on the Last Dance, kind of. Not really much on there either. So we about to see what's going on with that. Let's get straight to it.
So are you saying LeBron is better than Michael Jordan?
I would pick LeBron James.
The beef between Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas is one of the longest and most bitter feuds in history.
There's no way you can convince me you asshole.
And you called me an asshole. And then you said you hated me. Apologize for it.
They last played against each other in 1993.
That's the only things I saw was in that was the Last Dance.
Find ways to talk about it 30 years later.
I don't know what happened, but I know I didn't lead the walk-off.
Well, I know it's horrible.
This is the complete breakdown of the most famous beef in NBA history, which started back in 1985. However, the first time Isaiah Thomas played against Michael Jordan wasn't in the NBA, but during the preparations for the 1984 Olympics. Back then, the U.S. still sent collegiate athletes to the Olympics, and in 1984, Team USA prepared for the games by playing exhibition games against NBA stars. Even though nobody knew it then, the 1984 team was the best collegiate squad the Americans had sent to the Olympics up to that point. Beyond Michael Jordan, there were two other future Hall of Famers in Patrick Ewing and Chris Mullin, along with several other players who had long and successful careers in the NBA. But despite their talent, nobody gave college kids much of a chance against NBA All-Stars, such as Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and several others. Even though the NBA All-Star roster changed
he really shot from right here, Larry Bird. It's
weren't
crazy.
in the best shape in early July after the NBA season was over, nobody could have expected what would happen next. Jordan and Team USA went on to dismantle the NBA's greats in every single game, finishing the exhibition with a perfect 8-0 record. Isaiah played in 3 of those games, averaging 13 points per game, while Jordan averaged 17.
And this dude was so fast and so quick. He was like, oh.
Jordan and Team USA would win gold at the Olympics with a 32-point margin of victory, and MJ led all U.S. scorers with 17 points per game. And when he started his NBA career, it didn't take long for Jordan to start dominating.
Wait, so the college guys was did I see that correctly? College guys was beating the NBA guys back then? I mean, it's not I seen Cooper Flag. Well, this was before he was in college. Cooper Flag was playing with Team USA, going against Team USA. Last summer they got a couple clips of him getting nice little buckets, and I heard he killing right now. I gotta actually find a way to tune into a game and see what's going on with that. I saw somewhere where they said he's the best college freshman ever, and then somebody said, look, they'll give it to him if he wins a ring, because Melo was tough his freshman year. He won the whole shit. He won a championship, everything. So they said Cooper Flag got to do that to get that title. So we'll see if he does it.
As he scored 37 points in his 3rd career game. And
That's
a week
crazy.
later, in his 7th NBA game, the Bulls played against Isaiah's Pistons, a team that would later become synonymous with his career. And this first matchup against his future nemesis didn't start well for Jordan, who was plagued with foul trouble and ended up scoreless in the first half. But he came alive in the second, leading the Bulls to victory with 25 points. But despite losing...
Come on, bro.
He came alive in the second, leading the Bulls to victory.
Bro, he don't even... This is like, you see, like, bro.
With 25 points. But despite losing, Isaiah was better than Michael individually, with 35 points and 10 assists. Isaiah finally won a game against Jordan in January 1985, but their next matchup was the first sign of problems between the two stars. It was during the 1985 All-Star Game when Jordan felt disrespected by Isaiah Thomas and his East teammates. MJ believed that Thomas was freezing him out and not willing to pass him the ball.
Oh, there was teammates. See, I didn't know all this.
The rest of the starters to do so as well. However, the stats don't really back up that theory, as Jordan took 9 shots in 22 minutes on the court, which wasn't low by any means. Adrian Dantley, the reigning scoring champ, only took 6 shots, while Kareem and Bernard King took 10 in the same amount of time on the court. But according to Jordan, the beef didn't start on court, but in an elevator. I got on an
Yeah, that's because when I heard 9 shots, you hear 9 shots and Michael Jordan, even though it's an All-Star game. 9 shots and Michael Jordan, do those really go together? Not really. But then when I hear them say that other person took 10, this person took 6, Isaiah Thomas only took 6. They said Kareem only took 10. Kareem took 10. Okay, he was one less than. Okay, so never mind that. And they said a bunch of other people. They said like 2 other people only took. They took less than 10. So it was like, okay, it was like a fair balance. So I don't think that should start nothing. Because yeah, the stats don't back that up. But let's keep going.
An elevator with Isaiah Thomas to go downstairs for a league meeting. That was the first time I met him. And I said, "Hello, how you doing?" That's all I said. I was really intimidated because I didn't know him and I didn't want to get on his nerves. I didn't want to seem like a rookie and I was quiet. When I went down to the room for the meeting, I still didn't say anything. After the weekend was over,
Is this
it got
facts?
back to me that I was arrogant and cocky, and I wouldn't even speak to Isaiah on the elevator. Then I gave him the cold shoulder. And I'm saying Isaiah Thomas initiated it all. However, there are 2 sides to every story. And according to Isaiah's manager, Jordan was wearing Nike shoes in warm-ups during the Saturday workouts, which violated the NBA protocol. And
Why?
that bothered Isaiah, who thought the hyped rookie was acting out. After the All-Star weekend was
Why?
over, fate would have it that Jordan and Isaiah met in the very next game. And Jordan destroyed the Pistons, scoring a then career-high 49 points on 19 for 31 shooting in an overtime win. It was a grudge game from my standpoint, said Jordan, who always took things personally. The media picked up on the freeze-out story, and after the game, the headlines read, "Jordan gets his revenge, scores 49. The beef was officially born. In 1987, Jordan established a new career high, again against the Pistons.
Damn.
Jordan poured in an insane 61 points, shooting 22 for 39 from the field in a 125-120 OT victory.
They look
However,
cool.
in the playoffs, MJ had to swallow many bitter pills. In his first 3 playoff appearances, the Bulls won just 1 game.
Right. So Jordan was, what's the new term everybody's saying? Belt to ass in the regular season when he first got there. Every 35, 49, I'm killing him. You know what I'm saying? Then in the playoffs, that's when Jordan, like he said, that they say he only won 1 game. Because, it was like, I think, 2-3 straight years of getting swept, or then they got 1 game in. And then Jordan finally got his revenge, and after that, it was over with. You know what I mean? That shit is... Only thing I heard was that he was upset that when they finally won, he walked off and didn't shake their hands. But when I had to lose to y'all multiple times, I was shaking everybody's hands, this, that, and the third, saying I'm gonna come back stronger, woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like, oh, I lost and now boom, I'm straight to the locker room. You get what I'm saying? Which I could understand. I personally can't respect a player like that. I had a situation like that in high school one time. We beat their team. Not comparing me to these NBA niggas, but we beat their team. Me and dude who was talking shit to each other, I try to shake his hand. He like this. He don't even want to shake my hand. But I guarantee you, had he won, he would have been cool. You know, it's just certain shit that people do that kind of, I could see why it would rub, especially coming from an athlete, why it would rub you the wrong way.
And when Jordan finally won his first playoff series in 1988, he immediately got humbled by Isaiah and the Pistons, who defeated the Bulls 4-1 in the second round. In the next 2 seasons, the Bulls made the conference finals, but both times they lost to Detroit, who
Damn.
proved to be an unsolvable riddle for Michael. By implementing the so-called Jordan rules, the Pistons used to beat the crap out of MJ, using hard fouls to slow down the best player in the world. However, when talking about Jordan, Isaiah was always complimentary, even calling him the best player he's ever seen.
But this guy, you can't stop him. His skills are so unbelievable. You know, it's the best I've ever seen. But
Oh,
in
okay.
1991, the
So
Pistons
okay.
were aging and tired from 3 straight trips to the NBA Finals. And when they met Chicago again in the conference finals, the Bulls were better than ever. With Jordan, Pippen, and Horace Grant in their athletic prime, the Bulls dominated and won the first 3 games of the series. Before Game 4, Jordan said that the Pistons were undeserving champions and that the bad boys were bad for basketball.
And then called us undeserving champions. Now, we done beat the Lakers. We done beat the Celtics. We done beat y'all several times. Ain't nobody had a harder march to the NBA Finals than the Detroit Pistons.
That probably started it. He's like, wait, what? You discrediting us, what we did? He may have just been saying that because they was, every time you go to the basket, they just hacking them and shit like that, you know. And maybe he just, I ain't gonna lie, he may have just been being petty when he said that. He said undeserving champions. If they beat you 3 times in a row, I don't know. Or 2-3 times, whatever, how many times it is. I don't know if it's undeserving.
We done got cheated. We done got beat up. We have beaten the best of the best to ever play this game.
Isaiah responded to Jordan's comments with, "People will look back at this team and say we were one of the greatest teams to play basketball. We were great champions. He should be classier than to talk like that." The Pistons were pissed and motivated to make Jordan eat his words. But the Bulls were too good, and they swept the series. However, in the final moments of Game 4, when it was clear that it was all over, the Pistons orchestrated one of the most controversial moments in playoff history. The Pistons walked off the floor before the final whistle, walking past the Bulls bench with their heads down, refusing to shake the Bulls players' hands and congratulate them.
I didn't lead the walk-off. There were several people in the center field. I don't know what happened, but I know I didn't lead the walk-off. If I'd have known that it would have caused this much stir, then we would have shook hands.
Nah. I get it. You want to ride with your team, but nah. You was a follower right there. You get what I'm saying? Certain shit, and I can speak on, not in the NBA, but I can speak on certain things that our teammates done did. Like, nah, I ain't with that. Unless if I'm just not with that, bro. Like, hey, what y'all doing? You get what I'm saying? In that moment, like I said, he probably didn't want to be the only one to go, shake the hands. And that's more understandable. But to say I didn't lead the walk-on, you kind of throwing, because we could see footage of who led the walk-on, who's in the front, who's the second man, third man. You kind of throwing them under the bus like, oh, I'm not the one who started it. Go look at the footage. I just, you feel me? I just play follow the leader. It would have been better if you said, man, we just walked off and I walked with and I'm riding with my team. It is what it is. I probably should have shook their hands. That's my mistake. That's my fault. But to say I didn't lead the walk off, it's kind of just they did it. Why you mad at me? He started it. You know, that's how I kind of view that. You get what I'm saying? So that I can understand why. Like me, I would lose respect for you. And Jordan still said you're the second greatest point guard ever. So that's how I know it's personal. But he not letting how he personally feel about you determine his judgment. You get what I'm saying? He's not letting how he personally feels about you clog his, you know what I'm saying? Which I can respect as well. So I ain't gonna lie. Jordan, when you said they were undeserving champions because they was fouling you, hacking you, again, probably a little personal statement and a little bit of an emotional statement, which is fine. We all do that. But, they still got to score on the other end. You know, I kind of want to go back and watch these games because obviously this is way before my time. But yeah, I can see why the beef kind of started. I believe this is something people could just talk about, though. It's really not that serious.
And this sparked a ton of controversy and added more fuel to the beef between Jordan and Thomas. Jordan and Chicago would go on to win their first NBA title after they defeated the Lakers in the finals. And soon after that, Jordan received a phone call that would change basketball globally. The person calling him was Rod Thorne, who was part of the U.S. Olympic Selection Committee and was tasked to convince Jordan to play in the 1992 Barcelona Olympics.
Okay. Rod Thorne calls me and says, we would love for you to be on the Dream Team.
Okay.
I says, oh, who's all playing? You know, he says, well, the guy you're talking about, or you thinking about, he's not going to be playing.
And according to the book Dream Team, author Jack McCallum quotes Jordan, saying, Rod, I don't want to play if Isaiah Thomas is on the team. McCallum also released a podcast series with the actual recording of Jordan saying that he decided against Isaiah being on the Dream Team.
Can we hear it?
Rod called to Rod, I want to play Isaiah Thomas on the team. Here's you. He said, you know what? Chuck that one, Isaiah. So Isaiah's not going to be a part of the team.
In the 2020 documentary, The Last Dance, Jordan said that he indeed hated Isaiah, but denied that he had anything to do with Thomas's absence from the Dream Team.
No matter how much I hated him. Now, it was insinuated that I was asking about him, but I never threw his name in there.
But
see, Jordan, now nah. If you, again, it's like what I just said about Isaiah Thomas. I didn't lead they did it. You know what you was doing. You was saying he better not be on the team without saying he better not be on the team. That's literally what it was. Like, let's be honest, bro. It's okay. We all have the moments where we do some petty, super emotional. Nobody perfect. We all do it. You know what I'm saying? You literally, like, You like when you say, it's like when somebody says, "Hey, bro, pull up to such and such." Who all coming? You and he know it's somebody that you don't want to be there. That you're not going to pull up and insert yourself if this particular person is at this event or this venue or whatever the case may be, etc. That's what it was. You literally did that. You literally did that. I gotta hold you accountable, MJ, Michael Jordan. I gotta hold you accountable. You knew what you were doing when you said that. And then you being who you are, no, yeah, he not gonna be playing. Granted, maybe they made the decision that he's not gonna be there before they even called you because they already knew what type of time you was gonna be on. But I could see why Isaiah Thomas really believes that you have something to do with him not being on the Dream Team by saying, "I'm not gonna play if he's there." You're telling them he better. You're telling them take him off or don't include him if you want me to be there, without telling them that. That's that. Like, listen, that's literally what it is.
His absence from the Dream Team.
No matter how much I hated him. Now, it was insinuated that I was asking about him, but I never threw his name in.
But ultimately, MJ accepted the invitation.
But
Due with Thomas's absence from the Jordan said that he indeed hated Isaiah. In the 2020 documentary The Last Dance, Jordan said that he indeed hated Isaiah, but denied that he had anything to do with Thomas's absence from the Dream Team.
no matter how much I hated him. Now, it was insinuated that I was asking about him, but I never threw his name in.
But
Everybody knows who you were talking about. And then you said, who's all going to be there? I'm not going to play if Isaiah Thomas is there. All right, bet. Isaiah Thomas, we ain't even going to have him here. Or maybe we already knew you wasn't rocking with him, so we didn't have him here anyway. Now I can see 100% why Isaiah Thomas believes you had something to do with it. Anybody with a brain could, to be honest, bro. Y'all both did emotional petty shit. Let's just be real.
ultimately, MJ accepted the invitation, and on September 21st, 1991, it was first announced that NBA stars would participate in the Olympics. The 10 players chosen were Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Patrick Ewing, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Chris Mullin, Scottie Pippen, David Robinson, and John Stockton. Isaiah not being among them sparked huge media backlash, because Isaiah had made the All-Star team each year from the moment he came to the NBA, and was widely considered the second-best point guard ever behind Magic Johnson.
To me, the best point guard of all time is Magic Johnson, and right behind him is Isaiah Thomas.
But while he was still playing,
Like I said, that's how I know he really do hate him, like he said, but now I know he not letting how he feel about him determine his status in basketball, which is, I can respect that. Because I hate when people, it's somebody I may not like, but I'm not going to let the fact that I don't like you for whatever you may have did to me determine, like, who you are and what you do in your profession. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let how I feel clog my judgment. You get what, like, a lot of people do that. I remember one time when Lotto and Nicki Minaj got into it. Before that, Lotto saying that she was the GOAT. Everybody regards her as the female rap GOAT, right? And then when they got into it, for whatever reason, whoever started it, whatever, she kind of doubled back on it and said somebody else was the GOAT or the best female rapper of all time. And it was like, I mean, you said that because y'all got into it. You could have easily, maybe you felt like if you said her name, people would have started trolling again, saying this, that, and third. Maybe you felt like it was a lose-lose situation. So I get, it is what it is. But sometimes it just got to be like, even though we went through what we went through, I'm not going to let that clog my judgment. She's still up there, for sure. She's still that one. I don't care what anybody got to say. I'm not going to let that clog my judgment. That's petty shit. You may not fuck with somebody, but I'm not going to be petty. Somebody, they still may have had something to say about that. They're going to have something to say about everything. But it is what it is.
Jordan denied accusations that he had anything to do with Isaiah not being selected.
If you want to attribute it to me, go ahead, be my guest. But it wasn't me.
And while Isaiah
You
was
insinuated
certainly
it, bro.
a bigger name, from a basketball standpoint in 1991, he wasn't better than Magic nor John Stockton, who led the NBA in assists for 4 years in a row at that point, and was a better shooter than Thomas. While he was certainly disappointed to be left off the greatest team ever, Isaiah was still complimentary of Michael. During the 1993 finals, Isaiah joined the NBC broadcast, where he kept praising Jordan and his greatness.
You know, when you're talking about this Bulls team, you're really only talking about Michael Jordan. His energy level is so much greater than ours, is performing at a level that we frankly just weren't able to reach.
In 1994, Isaiah
Again,
retired from the NBA.
respect.
He faced Michael a total of 65 times in the league, and Thomas has a 36-29 winning record over Jordan, including a 12-10 record in the playoffs. And for the next 25 years, the beef between him and MJ was mostly dormant, with a few cheeky comments here and there. In 2004, Michael had a conversation with Cigar Aficionado and discussed what the issues were between him and Isaiah. Isaiah was from Chicago, and he wanted to come back and show he still dominated Chicago. I was the new guy in Chicago, and people were supporting the team. It became a dogfight between us. There was some real hatred there. Former Chicago Bulls player Brad Sellers also had similar comments to what his ex-teammate said. We all heard about what happened at the 1985 All-Star Game, but the bigger issue was that Isaiah was from Chicago. He worked to be one of the top players to represent that city, and Mike came in and eviscerated that. I can't imagine what that felt like for Dave to have an outsider come in and have the entire city behind him. There was no love left for him in Chicago, except from family. This story was also confirmed by John Sally, who played with both Jordan and Thomas.
Isaiah goes home and his nephew is wearing a Bulls jersey, Michael Jordan Bulls jersey. He said, "Hey, what are you doing?" But I'm from Chicago. I'm down with the Bull movement. Isaiah was mad. In his brain, every time I play against this dude, I'm gonna try to go off so my nephew sees this is the jersey you should wear.
In 2009, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson published a book called When the Game Was Ours, in which Magic said Isaiah killed his own chances when it came to the Olympics. Nobody on that team wanted to play with him. But Magic later denied those quotes, and Isaiah touched on this during an episode of Open Court in 2015.
I got no problems with, the greatest player to ever play say he don't want to play with me, or Magic saying he don't.
During that same episode, Isaiah also boasted how he always used to beat Jordan in the 80s.
Yeah, Jordan was a great player in the 80s, but they were finishing third and fourth in the division.
Yes, exactly.
So I know all y'all watching want to say, oh, Jordan he was great in the 90s.
Yes.
He dominated in the 90s.
Yes.
But in the 80s, he was out in the first round.
However, nothing stirred up this rivalry like the 2020
That's not a
documentary,
lie.
The Last Dance, which could have been more viewed than the actual NBA basketball in 1998. In the doc, MJ talked about the Pistons' walk-off during the 1991 playoffs.
You can show me anything you want. There's no way you can convince me he was so 2 years in a row, we shook their hands when they beat us. There was a certain respect to the game that we paid to them. That's sportsmanship.
But The Last Dance wasn't well received by many people involved with the story, most notably teammates Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, I was about to say, yes, I agree with the first shit. But the second shit, though, I'm not even going to lie. The Last Dance, what it did, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. If I remember, they pretty much snitched on people in that, if I'm not mistaken, bro. I saw it was an episode where they were saying it was a lot of Bulls players on crack, or not crack, but drugs and stuff like that. And they had the specific year. Jordan saying my teammates are doing X, Y, and Z. And it's a specific year that he's talking about. If I'm not mistaken, please fact check. I know I remember this was 2000. I never finished the whole Last Dance, but I remember this episode. I probably watched like at least 2-3 episodes. I remember this episode. I remember. And I said, damn, bro, he low-key snitched. All you got to do was Google. All you got to do is go on Google and find out who was on the team. He said his teammates. Again, he going to say, I didn't say any names like he did with Isaiah Thomas just now. But, bro, like, all you got to do was go on and Google and find out who. Like, that was a lot, bro. I didn't watch the entire thing to really agree with the narrative that it wasn't a team documentary. It was more so to make his career look how it looked, because it's called The Last Dance. People, I guess Scottie Pippen, they said allegedly Scottie Pippen and other teammates felt like it was just a documentary to kind of up him or whatever, something of that nature.
Luke Longley, Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright, Craig Hodges, and Ron Harper.
And I heard that he didn't let he tried to say Horace Grant can't eat because he played bad. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Michael Jordan is Michael, what is his middle name? Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The best shoe seller, probably has the best shoes ever invented. Michael Jordan. He's Michael Jordan. I will never take that away from him. But you telling another grown, and put the shoe sales to the side, basketball player and all, you telling a grown man he cannot eat because, was it Horace Grant? It was somebody that he can't eat because he played bad. That man got a wife and kids at home. Sometimes, and that's not even just Jordan. But sometimes I think these players be forgetting that this is another grown man with a wife and kids just like you. I heard Shaq done shitted in players' shoes. You know, it's players that's not going for that, bro. Even though Shaq is motherfucking like, you know what I'm saying? He gon', you know? But still, bro, like, that man got a wife and kids. Just imagine going home to your girl, and your wife, this Shaq shitted in my shoes today. Can she even respect you anymore? Like, bro.
Of course, Isaiah didn't like it either. Thomas said he knew about the rivalry, but that he didn't know that Jordan hated him so much.
I never knew this dude felt the way he felt until the last dance.
Thomas went on several podcasts where he talked about the topic, asking Jordan to apologize.
You got on national television and you called me a hole, and then you said you hated me. You said that on national television. Now, if you didn't mean it, get on national television and apologize for it. Now, if you meant it, let it ride as it is.
Isaiah also explained how he helped Michael when he first got drafted by the Bulls.
When Michael Jordan got to Chicago, I made it real easy for him to walk those streets on the west side of Chicago. My family took care of him.
After the last dance, Isaiah was determined never to mention Jordan as the GOAT ever again. Numerous times he cited LeBron as the best ever.
So are you saying LeBron is better than Michael Jordan?
I would pick LeBron James.
And when he was asked who's the best player he played against, he put Jordan at number 4, which is quite different from what he was saying in the early 90s while he was...
That's petty. He's being petty now. He's being petty. The LeBron one is whatever, but he's being petty. I'm not even just saying that because I'm a LeBron fan. It's because he broke that down. I remember that clip. He broke that down why he was. And I think he mentioned if Jordan had these certain things. And again, Jordan got the more championships. You get what I'm saying? You're coming from before the NBA and everything, like what LeBron has had to do is just different, you know. And Doc Rivers said the same thing. He said, he didn't say LeBron was the GOAT, but he just said LeBron came in and was expected to be great. Jordan came in and surprised everyone. It's a difference when you come in and, oh shit, he's doing this, and then you just do all these amazing things, and then when this next motherfucker's coming in and he's already projected, he's being asked, hey, he's being told, hey bro, if you ain't a first ballot Hall of Famer, you are a bust. Nobody told no other player that. Like, damn, I'm 17, 18 years old. Nobody. It's a difference, bro. You know that's all I'm saying. It's a difference.
Still an NBA player. In 2021,
I got LeBron, the best player I've ever seen.
Player celebration.
Personally,
Jordan and Isaiah did their best to avoid each other, proving that the beef was still very much alive.
Oh, yeah.
And while Isaiah has publicly buried the hatchet with Magic Johnson during a televised interview where both legends shared hugs and tears, it's unlikely that this will happen with Jordan.
I gotta watch that.
MJ is not on speaking terms with Scottie Pippen anymore. He hasn't spoken to Charles Barkley in over a decade, and is known to be very petty. Because, as we know, Michael Jordan takes things personally, and he and Isaiah will probably hate each other to the grave. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you like this video, subscribe to...
Having this as a thumbnail, this was not no beef. But anyways, man, if y'all like this video, y'all know what to do. Rest in peace to Kari, ex my grandma, both our grandmas, and I'm gone.